Here is the puzzle video for parallel lines and transversals. Now I'm going to go pretty quick because there's a couple puzzles I got to get through, and there's a lot of angles on each of these puzzles to find. You can pause and rewind at any time. So, congruent angles, vertical angles, alternate interior, alternate exterior, and corresponding, and then supplementary angles are same side interior angles and any linear pair that you can create. I'm going to use these to help me find every angle on here. So angle 6 is 75. What I can do with that real quick is I can throw its vertical angle is a 75. These two are vertical. Angle 12 is 121. So I'm just going to take angle 12 and put a 1 behind it to make it 121. So I can make this angle 121 because it's vertical. Okay, any half circle here is going to be 180. So all I have to do is say, bam, that's 180. So now I can take 180 minus 121 and get that angle right beside it. So I'm going to say this is 59. And this is also 59 because it's vertical. Okay, so where can I go from here is I can, so here are the parallel lines, and I can have to cross the two parallel lines to be able to duplicate this corresponding angle. So if I take this 59 and I drive across the two parallel lines, this is a top right position like this 59, so they're corresponding. So I can say that. So that's also 59. Okay, I cannot say these are corresponding because look at that. They are corresponding, but both these angles are going to add up to 121. So this is going to get a little weird there. So I cannot do that math. Okay, so what I can do is go ahead and see a vertical angle down here at the 59. Now, how am I going to find this guy? So take a look at any of these half circles. That's not a linear pair because there's 3 angles in this half circle. But the fact is, anytime you draw a half circle, it adds up to 180. So if I look at these two angles, 75 and 59, and then I take it from 180, I will get 46. So that is how I can complete all those angles. Remember, we said angle 6 is 75. So if you want me to throw that in there to make it look better, we can. So here is the first time we're going to get a trick. Here is a trick that you need to know. So how do I get down here? There's several ways you can get down here. But if you recognize this thing here, and we all know that that's a triangle, and that there are 3 angles in a triangle, every triangle has 180 in all 3 of its angles. So I will take 46 and 59, and I'll take those from 180, and I'll get 75. I also could have done alternate interior angles here to get to 75 as well. That might have been easier for you to see. But then this vertical angle is 75. Now this half circle, that's going to get you 105. Okay, so I'm going to keep practicing, go to the next puzzle. So here it is all, so I'm going to find all these angles, giving me angle 1 is 78. So this is 78. What can I do with that 78? Okay, so I'm going to stay around here. I'm going to cross these two parallel lines, and I'm going to say these two guys are corresponding. I think the corresponding angle is the easiest angle to use. Another easy angle is vertical. That might even be easier to see than corresponding. So all those are 78. How do you find this other one? Is you just do a half circle here. So all these are going to be 102 because I can do a half circle with any of this. So that half circle here adds up to 180. Any half circle in these 8 angles. So there's a 102 because it's vertical. I can do alternate interior angles, and those are equal, or just do another half circle. So those are all complete. Okay, so now I'm going to go to angle 2, and I'll put that 47 in there. And I can do the same exact thing on this section that I did with this section. Vertical, top right, 47. Vertical, and then do a half circle anywhere. So that would be 180 minus 47 would be 133. And then all these are 133 as well. Those are vertical. These are corresponding. And then those are vertical. So how do I get to angle 11? Is once again, use that triangle. Now, using this triangle will get me to this angle here because that's the third angle of that triangle, and angle 11 is vertical to that. So angle 102 and 147 is 149. So this little guy has to be 31. Now the interior sum of that yellow triangle is 180. This is vertical to it. So that is 31. Now, as you did this, when we get into class or at home, you might have some Post-it notes around. Cover stuff up. So as I dealt with the bottom first, I could have covered all this up with some Post-it notes. I could have covered all that up and just focused on there. Then cover all that up and just focus on there. So that would help, or just use another piece of paper. Moving on, because I got to get through all this. All right, so angle 3 is 84. So in the figure, M and N is parallel. So M and N is parallel. So I can take, I'm going to mark this as parallel. So M and N are parallel. So what can I do with angle 3 being 84? I can do a lot with that 84. So this is 84. You can cross 2 parallel lines and do all the math. So take a look, top right corner, they're equal. That works. Alternate interior angles, 84 and 8 are also going to be equal. So 84 here, 84 here, because I did corresponding angle here. So how do I get this angle 2? Just do a half circle there. Now, once I do a half circle with angle 2 or angle 1, I'll get angle 1 to be 96. Okay, so there's the math with that one. So let's take a look at angle 4 is 60. Put that 60 in there. Okay, so I can cross these 2 red parallel lines, and angle 6 and angle 60 here are going to be corresponding. So I know this guy is 60. Do my half circle here with 7 and get 120 because it adds up to 180. So this is 60. Okay, so this has to be, so how am I going to get in here? So let's see. So this will be vertical 60. This is all going to be 120, but I'm going to have to figure out what each of them are. All right, so what I'm going to have to do here is stop, because when I look at this triangle, if I found this angle up here, I'd be able to do the interior sum of this triangle. So what I can't do is say this is anything for sure, because this angle here, this big angle that I just marked, I'm going to try to bold it, has got to add up to 120. And I cannot say yet, with the information provided, I cannot say that they are equal, that this would be 60 and this would be 60. So I can't do that. So I'm going to have to stop on this picture there, because I cannot find this angle without guessing. So here's some ACT examples. So it wants to find angle X. It tells us line M and N are parallel. So I'm going to solve this two ways. Here's one way, is that this is a transversal. So really this is a transversal, but it's cut off at the parallel line. So I can say that these two angles here are alternate interior and equal. Then I could do a half circle here and just finish the half circle, and I would have X. That's one way you could do it. That is not the only way. The other way I could do this is I could complete the triangle. So here's a triangle in here. So the interior sum of that triangle is 180. So I would say 48 and 80 plus 52 is 180, and then I could see this transversal as well. So this is also a transversal, and that these two are alternate interior and equal. And the X would be 52 here, and X came out to 52 here as well. So there's multiple ways to do some of these puzzles. The last puzzle is they want you to find X, and X is in this little corner here. I just did this one way. So what I did was I created a half circle here. And this little angle here has got to be 38 because of 180. Then I work with this right triangle. And I have to remember that this represents a number, which is 90. So 90 plus 38 is 128. So that means this guy has to be 52 to complete the right triangle. Then I take 52 and get to X. I see a transversal right here. And I'm going to catch alternate interior angles with this 52 and this X. And that's the only way I got to this X here.